The Umbrella Man. Sometimes, the rain doesn't just fall from the sky. Sometimes, it falls into our hearts, quietly, steadily, reminding us how cold and alone the world can feel. In a city filled with honking cars, blinking lights, and people always rushing somewhere, there are those the world forgets. Children with tired eyes. Mothers with empty pockets. Fathers who haven't been seen in years. And among them is a boy named Liam. He doesn't ask for pity. He doesn't know how to cry anymore. He only knows how to survive. Each morning before the sun fully rises, Liam steps into the wet streets of Manila, holding 5 umbrellas wrapped in twine. Each one costs 50 pesos. Each one carries a piece of hope. Hope that tonight, his little sister Anna might sleep without coughing. Hope that tomorrow, he might eat something warm. Hope that maybe, just maybe, someone will see him, not just pass him by. But this city isn't gentle. It rains hard, and mercy is rare. On one such day, cold, grey, and endless, when Liam has barely eaten and Anna is burning with fever, he meets a stranger who doesn't just stop to buy an umbrella. He stops to change a life. It was a Monday afternoon in Manila, and the rain had been falling for hours. Liam stood at the edge of the sidewalk, his shoulders soaked through his thin shirt. In his small hands, he clutched a bundle of 5 cheap umbrellas, his only chance of earning enough for his sister's medicine tonight. Umbrella. Umbrella. Only 50 pesos, he called out again and again, his voice hoarse from the cold. Most people passed by, heads down, umbrellas already in hand. He was 14, but the city had made him older. His shoes were 2 different sizes, found in separate trash bins, and his pants were hand-me-downs from a cousin who had stopped visiting years ago. But Liam didn't care about clothes. He cared about Anna, his 7-year-old sister, lying in bed with a fever, breathing heavily in the small room they called home. That morning before school, he had skipped breakfast, carried Anna to the neighbor's house, and asked them to keep an eye on her while he worked. He didn't go to school anymore. 3 hours passed. He sold only 1 umbrella, to a kind woman who didn't ask for change. By 6 p.m., the sky had darkened. His feet were cold, and he hadn't eaten since yesterday afternoon. He sat down under a rusted awning near the bakery, clutching the unsold umbrellas. Then came the sound of slow, measured footsteps. An old man, in a brown coat, holding a cane. He stopped in front of Liam and looked down, his eyes kind but unreadable. "You sell umbrellas, boy?" "Yes, sir." 50 pesos. The man looked up at the sky. "Seems like I need one." Liam stood up, hopeful. "I have blue, black, and red." The man didn't move. "Tell me, why are you selling them?" Liam blinked. It wasn't a question customers asked. "My sister is sick. I need to buy her medicine." The man studied him. "How old are you?" 14. "Do you go to school?" Liam hesitated. "I used to. I want to go back." A long pause. Then the man said, "Keep your umbrellas. I'm not here to buy one." Liam's face fell. "Okay, sir." But the man didn't leave. "Tell me your name," he said. "Liam," the boy replied. The man slowly sat down next to him, ignoring the wet bench. "Let me tell you a story, Liam," the old man said, voice steady. "When I was your age, I sold cigarettes on these same streets. I lived under the bridge near Sta Cruz. My mother worked as a maid. We had no electricity, no food, and no dreams." Liam listened, unsure. "One night, I fainted from hunger. A stranger found me. He gave me soup, then gave me a book. 'Read this,' he said. 'The world will open.' I read that book under a streetlight, over and over. Then more books. I went to night school. And now," he paused, eyes distant, "now, I build schools for boys like you." Liam stared. "Are you telling the truth?" The man smiled softly. "Sometimes, the people who seem least important are just the beginning of something big. He reached into his coat pocket and pulled out a folded note. "This is my card," he said. "Come to this address tomorrow morning. Bring your sister if you want. Or come alone." Liam took the card and read, "Mr. Arsenio Diaz, founder, Rise Up Foundation." Beneath it was an address. "But why?" Liam asked. "Because I believe in boys who keep going, even when it rains." The man stood, nodded once, and walked away, without an umbrella. That night, Liam used the 50 pesos to buy paracetamol and a small loaf of bread. Honor smiled weakly when he fed her. "Did you sell all the umbrellas?" she whispered. "Almost," Liam lied, brushing her hair aside. "Tomorrow will be better." He stared at the business card long after she slept. The next morning, Liam wrapped Honor in a hoodie and carried her on his back. The address led to a tall, white building tucked between a gas station and a school. A security guard looked at them curiously but let them in after seeing the card. Inside was clean, bright, and warm. They were led to a small room with toys, books, and a couch. Anna's eyes lit up. Mr. Diaz entered shortly after, this time without a coat, only a crisp white shirt and a calm smile. "You came," he said. Liam nodded, holding Anna's hand. "Only for a moment. Stay as long as you want. We have food, medical care, and a school program, if you're ready." Liam's voice trembled. I can't pay." "You already did," Mr. Diaz said. "You paid with your strength." The weeks that followed changed everything. Liam and Honor moved into a small dormitory run by the foundation. He attended classes during the day and worked part-time helping clean the facility. Honor was given regular checkups, and her health improved. They laughed more, ate more, dreamed more. One evening, Liam helped distribute food to street children, and he saw a boy sitting where he once sat, soaked, cold, and trying to sell candy. He walked over and handed the boy an umbrella. "Keep this," he said. "And if someone ever asks you why you're out here, tell them the truth." 5 years later, Liam stood on a small stage, wearing a borrowed suit. He was graduating high school with honors. Honor, now healthy and tall, clapped proudly in the crowd. Mr. Diaz sat beside her, nodding. Liam spoke into the microphone. "There was a time I thought life was only about surviving. I never imagined I would one day speak to a room full of people. But I'm here because someone stopped and listened. I'm here because of rain and kindness, and the hope that things could be different." He paused and smiled. "So if you're ever out in the rain, and you see someone struggling, don't walk past. You never know whose story you might help rewrite." 10 years later. The streets of Manila hadn't changed much. Still crowded. Still noisy. Still full of people who looked, but didn't always see. But Liam had changed. Now 24, he wore a clean shirt, dark jeans, and a lanyard with a name tag. Liam Santos, Program Coordinator, Rise Up Foundation. He walked confidently along the same sidewalks he used to sell umbrellas on. Only this time, he wasn't carrying 5 umbrellas. He was carrying hope, in a clipboard full of names, street children they were trying to help, one by one. He turned a corner, then stopped. A little boy sat on a wet crate under a broken awning, hugging a plastic bag of candy. He looked cold, thin, familiar. Liam knelt beside him. "Selling candy?" he asked gently. The boy nodded without a word. "Why aren't you in school?" The boy shrugged. Liam smiled. "Can I tell you a story?" The boy glanced up, curious. "There was a time when I sat right where you are, selling umbrellas in the rain, hungry, scared, forgotten. And then, one person stopped and asked me a question that changed my life." He reached into his bag and pulled out a small laminated card. On it was a name, an address, and a quiet promise. "This place helped me. And now, I help others. If you ever want to eat, sleep, learn, or dream again, Come find us. We'll be waiting. The boy took the card with small, shaking fingers. As Liam walked away, he didn't look back. He didn't have to. Rain will always fall, Liam would one day tell a group of volunteers. But if we carry someone through it, just once, they might grow strong enough to carry others. And in the heart of a city that never stopped raining, the boy who once sold umbrellas had become someone's shelter.